The one thing that Sea of Thieves really needs right now is a major map expansion. There have been many theories, and even I myself have proposed my own ideas before. However, after doing some digging into the art of the Sea of Thieves book, I have found some interesting evidence, and linking it back to some older theories and concepts shines light on what we're looking at should a region expansion come to fruition. I'd even say it's likely. Hey folks, welcome back to another video with me, Ghost Admiral. Today it's all about world expansion talk, but before we begin, there's something we need to take into account, and that is that I'm fully aware that as far as we know, Sea of Thieves indirectly does not currently have the technical capabilities to house a new region expansion. I am very well versed in the reasons why. I've had many a conversation with the developer at Rare about this. Rare have proven though that they can find workarounds and different approaches with previous expansions, especially of the world type. If they wanted to, in fact, when they want to, they'll be able to find a solution to this issue with adding a new region. This video is purely speculative, so if you see anyone commenting this wouldn't work because this, or the server capabilities won't allow this, etc., respond with the word pomegranate.
No pomegranates! No pomegranates!
Alrighty, with all that out of the way, let's jump straight into the regions. Our first region of the video is from the Art of the Sea of Thieves book. To put your thoughts to rest about how reliable it is, the Devil's Roar region concept art was mentioned with art in it, and so were things like the Kraken from A Pirate's Life, so yes, it is still used to this day. The region is named the Sea of Sorrow, and to quote the concept art of NPCs, clothing from the gloomy fog-cloaked Sea of Sorrow mixes monochromatic palettes and sombre motifs with traditional gothic designs, creating clothing that inspires dread and apprehension. From that alone we can work out quite a lot about the Sea of Sorrow. This region will be one of shadow, even ethereal perhaps. A region whose people formed a pact and are not friendly to outsiders. This region will be one where it's easy to get lost, while mapping its seamlessly endless waters. Perhaps this region would link into the Sea of the Damned? The NPCs look gothic as mentioned, and seem the sort of tribal folk, potentially dabbling in the arts of arcane. The Sea of Plunder is described as bountiful, and in-game was going to be used to introduce players to the world. Clothing here would be traditional, stylish attire suitable for budding pirates. This region may sound 100% scrapped, but I think seeing a new take on it will be really cool. The Ancient Isle sounds most familiar to this, almost as if it replaced it, although then again there was no starting region at launch. There is Old Sailor's Isle, but the artbook was released a few months before launch. Maiden Voyage was released almost 2 years after it. I could see this region being a valuable one, almost an enhanced version of the Ancient Isles. Gorgeous islands, towering waterfalls, and even the outpost could perhaps be tiki-like, and the inhabitants could be tribal. This is sort of mixing in parts of my video where I designed the primeval lands, but I see the Sea of Plunder being a region where exploration is key. Deep caves, colossal peaks, and tangling rivers. The islands in this region could have rivers inside them, just like the Mystic Bayou does in the Captains of the Damned tall tale. This region could also go deep into the lore of the ancients, and perhaps even be where we finally get to see the lost temple of them we read about in the Heart of Fire novel. Maybe it's where we finally get a land brought through from the Sea of the Damned, being the ancients' home, a pristine version, a primeval version of the Sea of Thieves. I'm just spitballing ideas here, but I think a region like this would be really cool to see. Next up is Frozen Horizons, or Fangs, whichever you prefer. This is where we're going to start ramping up the evidence. A few years back, there was an artist called Max Simoniou, who designed 2 expansions. We'll get onto the second one in a minute, and all his links will be down in the description. Go check him out, he's an absolutely phenomenal artist who's done some amazing work. The Frozen Fangs is a fully fleshed out ice region expansion. The concept art he did, interestingly enough, has been taken down, and the only place you can find the bulk of it is from an old Captain Falcor video discussing the expansion years ago. The plausibility of this update is interesting, or moreover should I say, Rare's take on one. It's important to note that this art hasn't technically been done for Sea of Thieves. An ice region has been requested a ton, and you know what, just to grasp the scope of percentages, I'm going to do a poll link in the top right now. Go vote if you want to see an ice region. Let's find out how many people really do want one. There'll be another poll as well, linked at the end of the video, because, well, why not, about which of the regions in this whole video you want to see. It's time for the most likely region to come to the Sea of Thieves, perhaps even probable. The Sea of the Five Winds. To quote from the art book, the Sea of the Five Winds takes inspiration from cultures throughout East Asia. These images explore fusions between those cultures and the hallmarks of pirate apparel. The Sea of the Five Winds, as mentioned in the quote, is East Asian themed, but what sets it apart from the other art book ones? There was another expansion done by Max, called Fire and Flames, which is also another region expansion. As the concept art appears on screen, just take in how detailed this is, and how it really would fit into the Sea of Thieves, how easily replicable it would be. Well, apart from maybe the dragon, but never say never. New ship type, region, weapons, skeleton lord, they're all transferable, and what's more, he's gone to the lengths of modelling most of this. Interestingly again, it's quite hard to find. Not taken down, but not easily accessible as his other works. Why does this matter though? I said earlier this wasn't done for Sea of Thieves, which technically it wasn't. Again, technically. Why technically? Well, Max Simoniou currently works for Rare as a senior concept artist. I checked out his socials and sure enough, at the start of this year, at the start of 2022, he landed a job at Rare as a concept artist, years after these concepts were actually drawn up. He's ranked up pretty quickly as well, he's now senior as I said. Why does this all matter though? I just think that it's strange that there's parallels to the game, the effort he's put in and how some of the concept art he did is no longer accessible. Could it be that for the next region expansion, some of this art is being used? Maybe not the story, maybe not any of the features he designed, but it's certainly very peculiar and very coincidental. So, what am I getting at here? None of this is confirmed in the slightest. Whilst any of the regions mentioned in this video could be the next one, or not, heck, there are multiple instances of in-game items, particularly in the Pirate Emporium hinting at expansion, I think that the Asian route is the natural one to go down. It's the perfect gap to take the art style in the Sea of Thieves world. I've done many speculation videos before, but few I 100% back. This is one of those few. The future of the Sea of Thieves miniseries was another. I'll link the poll for which of these four regions you'd love to see most now, and I'm genuinely interested to find out, so go vote for it. Getting back to the point, we already have exploration of the Asian style of things, so I think whenever they decide to do the next region expansion, which realistically needs to happen within a couple years, I think this will be the one, this will be the route that they go down. The Sea of the Five Winds taking inspiration from Fire and Flames concept art. This is me signing off, thanks for watching and I'll catch you in the next one.